am back in the Jeep Gladiator Mojave, and man, did I miss it. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Rob Motive JT. Almost forgot the name of the channel. It's been so long. For those of you that don't know, let's catch you up a little bit. I have been out of my Jeep Gladiator Mojave for about 2.5 months. What was I thinking? I don't know. I went to visit family and stuff, took a trip to Ohio. I've talked about that on the channel. I'm sure you're all aware of that. Been cruising around in a late model Mercedes-Benz, which I really did like, by the way. I think I might have to get one of those and add it to a different channel, not this one. But anyway, I'm back. I've been back for a couple of days now, and I am back in the Jeep Gladiator. Got it out, dusted it off, topped it off with mid-grade premium gas, and I did that for a reason. I've had a little bit of a problem. I've had a vibration problem, and I had hoped that when I got back from Ohio that it would have miraculously healed itself, that it'd be gone. Well, you know, that doesn't work, right? I was wrong. It didn't. It's still vibrating. But I've mentioned in other videos that I've got a few things I'm going to try, and you guys have given me tons of great suggestions, and I really appreciate that. So first thing I'm going to work on is the throttle body. You know, there is a pretty good consensus out there that it could be a dirty throttle body, and that the little flap can't close or adjust the way it needs to properly, and that's causing some sort of a poorly running engine, if you will, which makes sense. I mean, if the throttle body is not working properly, obviously you're idle when you're sitting still. When it's more closed, you know, I guess it's more closed. I'm not a mechanic, if you didn't know. But anyway, when you're sitting still at idle, not moving, that's when the vibration starts. I mean, it could be vibrating right now, I don't know. But since I'm driving down the road, going over bumps and stuff, who would ever know? You'd never notice. So I bought some throttle body cleaner. This is what I've got right here. This is the stuff, and I know it's gonna, there you go. I know it has a glare. But this is what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna clean the throttle body. Honestly, the truck only has 2,150 miles on it. I mean, why would it be dirty? But there is a lot of pollen and junk in the air down here, a lot of dust. It's a relatively rural area, and when the farmers are out there going through the fields and stuff, they kick up a lot of dust. And I'm always driving in these areas anyway. It's where I prefer to go because it's nice and open, and I don't have to worry about traffic so much when I'm talking to you guys. So I'm going to clean the throttle body. I'm also replacing the cold air intake. I bought an air raid cold air intake, and sadly, it arrived the day before I actually left. So I had to sit and think about it for 2.5 months while I was gone. But I am going to be installing the air raid cold air intake, and I'm doing that because I love the sound of it. It's the best one out there as far as I'm concerned if you're looking for a little bit more grumble. There'll be a video on that, and I know I've done it before for the trolls out there. Oh, he's just installing the same stuff he always... I've never installed one on a Jeep Gladiator Mojave. So, you know, if you want to be really picky and technical, most mods that people do, someone has done before, let's be honest. But I never have. So we'll have my twist on it, and we'll see how it goes for me and what difference it makes in my Jeep Gladiator Mojave. Now, I want to say a couple things about the throttle body cleaner, because I've done some research on it, you know, watched some videos, read some articles, and you have to be a little bit careful when you do it. Obviously, you don't want to damage the throttle body. I mean, that would make the problem worse than it already is. So you got to be careful in the way that you're handling that, the way that you manipulate the flap and all that stuff, because you do kind of have to push it a little bit so that you can open it and access everything you need to access. The other thing is, and by the way, you could take the throttle body completely off, take it apart. I'm not going that far. I think if I did that, I'd probably be very disappointed because I probably would ruin it in the end. So I'm not looking to do anything that drastic or that extreme. But the other area you have to be careful is the application of it. I mean, you do not want to saturate the throttle body, the intake, all of that with the throttle body cleaner. I've seen some people go at it. No, they'll grab the cleaner, they'll take the intake off, and then they just all over the place. Well, think how much fluid and liquid and junk you're putting inside the throttle body when you do that. You might even be driving some of that gummy, gooky stuff, if you have any of it, down in further inside the throttle body. And obviously that's counterproductive. You're trying to clean it, not make it worse. So you have to be a little bit careful. The way I'm going to go about it, I'm going to use a rag, and I will saturate it a little bit with fluid off of the rag. In other words, kind of dabbing it on there, leaving it sit for a little bit so that the cleaner has time to do its job, right? Doesn't make a lot of sense to spray it on a rag, wipe it off, and be done. It needs to work a little bit. So I'm going to saturate the rag, at least the area I'm going to apply it on, right? I mean, I'm not going to have a dripping wet rag when I do it. And I'm going to wipe around everywhere on that throttle body. And I'm going to be very interested to see what comes off. Is it possible for a truck with a Jeep Gladiator with only 2,152 miles now to have that much buildup on the throttle body? It's going to be very interesting for me because I've never done this before. I've never cleaned a throttle body. I've obviously seen them. I've obviously done cold air intakes both on this channel and on the Rob Motive channel with the Tacomas, but never done it on this one, so, or any one. So it's going to be interesting to see. I hope that solves the problem. If not, I still have a couple of other options out there. There's a cleaner I could run through the system, a fuel injector cleaner, because it could be a bad fuel injector or a fuel injector that's not working properly. I could replace the fuel injectors, the plugs, all that stuff. I'm not looking to do that. If it were an easy job, I probably would. You remember the old engines where everything was right on top. The spark plugs were right there. You just pull the wire off, take the plug out, put a new one in. Not so much with the Jeep Gladiator. You have to remove kind of the top stuff or part of the engine, the manifold, and some wiring and things. And I don't want to do that because, again, I'm not looking to make the problem worse than it is. So that would be a last resort for me. Doesn't mean I won't do it, but not something I'm going to start with. I'm going to run some premium gas through the tank. I don't think that's going to make any difference, to be honest. There are some fuel injector cleaners. Like I say, I could run that through, and I probably will. If this doesn't work, then I'll run some injector cleaning solution through it. Maybe a tank or two full of gas and see if that makes any difference. The motor mounts, I'm going to try to tighten those. If I'm being honest, I don't even know where they're at. I've never done anything with motor mounts on a Jeep Gladiator or any other vehicle for that matter. So I'll have to do a little bit of research. That'll probably be the next thing that I try, because obviously if the motor mounts are loose or damaged or who knows, then the engine while it runs could vibrate a little bit because the motor mounts are not functioning properly or doing what they're supposed to do. So I'll try that right after this. If this doesn't work, I'm very hopeful, given the research that I've done, that this throttle body cleaner will take care of the problem. And if you're wondering why that would be a problem, real quick, if there's gunk built in around the throttle body, even just a little bit, it doesn't take much, then that flap, as I mentioned, can't close properly, can't seat properly, and that could be causing the problem. Some of the videos I've seen where guys have done this, it made a profound difference. So I'm very hopeful that it's something simple like that. There'll be a video coming up. I'll show you how I'm going to do it, probably in conjunction with changing out the cold air intake, since I do have to loosen it up or take it off to be able to access the area I need to clean anyway. Anyway, I just wanted to get on, talk about this a little bit. I'm very happy to be back in the Jeep Gladiator, vibration or not. I have missed it. Love this truck. Didn't have a lot of time in it since I had just gotten it really before I left. So we're back. More mods to come. I ordered some stuff yesterday. I just couldn't stand it. So we got a lot more hands-on stuff coming. Get rid of this talking guy. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about my proposed solution, the throttle body cleaner. I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive MT, all about compact trucks, and Rob Motive, all about Toyota Tacomas. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there.